What they do. This your boy DP.
This your girl T.
And we're the Geminis Gemz, representing for the Geminis across the world, giving our own Miami perspective.
For sure.
So you can follow us on all podcast platforms at Geminis Gemz.
Also follow us on Instagram, Geminis_Gems, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Geminis Gemz.
Hey, make sure you like, follow, you comment, and you subscribe. Yes. And make sure when you type it in, it's Geminis with the S, Gems with a Z. And what we do, T?
Drop them gems.
You drop them gems. What they do. How y'all doing out there?
Hi.
The aces and jewels. How y'all doing? So, yeah, we back again with another one.
And another one.
It's just one more.
And another one.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm your boy DP.
That's your girl T.
And we're Gemini Gemz.
Yes.
That's Geminis with the S. That's Gems with a Z. And what we do?
You know what we do. We go ahead and drop them gems for y'all.
Drop them gems.
Yes.
Make sure you like, you comment, subscribe, and you share our information, okay? We appreciate you all that's out there that does it already. Continue and we'll begin to build our tribe, okay? All right, we appreciate it. So today's topic we're going to talk about fantasy and reality, right?
Woo, this up my alley to the fantasy.
I bet it is.
You know, you just gave me something to talk about.
Oh my God. So okay. I'm kind of ready to get it in because like okay. T said some things earlier. Right. Yeah, I'm going to try to get out of her.
All right.
So yeah, let's go.
Go ahead.
You ready?
Go be ready.
So,
y'all ready? Okay.
You got your little paperwork. All right. So basically fantasy. Fantasy is basically something that we imagine.
Okay.
It brings out our creativity and a vision. So we visualize these things in our mind, and we kind of just stay in a daze, in a daydream, right? So as we stay in this daydream, we begin to just fantasize about different things. Some people fantasize about money. Some people fantasize, what they're going to do with the money. Let's say that.
All right.
Right. Some people fantasize about sexual activities.
Yes.
Why you drop a gem for that one?
You know, drop a gem. You know, okay. We're adults, right? Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Some people just fantasize about just having a better situation, right?
Right.
And what we want to kind of bring out is the fact of how we can turn these fantasies into reality.
All right.
Okay, so reality is basically something that is just real life, tangible, actual, you get what I'm saying? And then truth. What's right in front of us.
Right.
So we fantasize about being in certain positions, right, sexually, but we physically can't do it. So how can we get into that position, right, or get to fulfilling our fantasy, I guess, in reality, if we can't put that person in that? No.
So I was still stuck in the fantasy. So I'm letting you do that.
I know.
You know my mind.
I know.
T.
That's why I did exactly. I wanted to show you all how she is. That's exactly why I did what I did just now.
My mind would get stuck. Somewhere.
This is what I'm talking about.
And I will be frozen.
Right. So I drew something out there, and then all of a sudden, now she stays there. This is a day-to-day basis with this girl.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I know who I am. Yes.
Yeah. In reality, we try to fulfill these. Let's say these voids.
All right.
Right. So we fantasize about it.
Right.
So come on, T. Come with the
fantasy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come
all right.
with the fantasy.
So for me, when I hear the word fantasy, I'm going straight to the sex.
Oh my God.
Anything sexual, because it's like, that's just who I am.
Right.
Of course, thank you for breaking it down to where there's more things to fantasize, but I can only be me, and I'm stuck on the sexual fantasy. And I just want to talk about, fantasy.
Okay.
You know, what it do? Like, what was that author? It was an author I used to read in middle school, high school, Zane.
Right.
I want to say it was Zane. I didn't have no business in middle school.
But most of y'all girls was reading Zane.
Right. But
Or sexual content.
Yes. So back then, you know, we'll read.
Right.
And, you know, it's just, that's when it started for me, honestly.
Right.
Because I'm like, when I get older, when I become an adult, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And guess what? Reality sucked in.
Right,
you know,
right.
Well, we'll talk about that. But go ahead and, so guess what? I have a question for everybody, also you. So who fantasizes more, in your opinion, like men or women?
I say men.
Why is that?
Because men cannot live their truth, right? Okay. On a day-to-day basis. So it's like basically a man would sit up there and fantasize about having something great at the end of the day. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's every single day, or having, because we may hit a couple of hiccups throughout the day. Mm-hmm. So we take our mind, like me, I'm imaginative. Okay. So I will always be in a moment of daze because I'm thinking about a better situation. Okay. So even if it's financially and also sexually or just emotionally, I will fantasize about being in a better condition. What do you think?
So
who fantasize more?
Who fantasize more? I'm going to say men. Because one, and this is my opinion, I feel that you guys are automatically visualizers, okay? Right. So a woman can have on a dress from her neck to her heel, and if you can see an inch of her curve or something in that dress, you already undressing her with your eyes. And so by you saying that by we agreeing that men are more fantasizers, if that's a word, is that why y'all so mean to us?
Mean?
Like, if y'all don't get that fantasy fulfilled, y'all might take it out on your significant other, because as a woman, we have other things going on in our mind, meaning taking care of the kids, if you have to go to work, all the everyday life. So yeah, we like to fantasize too, but the reality kick in real fast when you probably, as a woman, you probably don't get that help to help you keep the fantasy in your head. Like, I feel like as a woman, we have more responsibilities and daily duties than a man would have to do. So that's why I would say men visualize more, because y'all mind.
Yeah, the freedom.
Y'all have the freedom. As a woman, we probably at work, but guess what? We thinking about probably dinner. We thinking about the kids, are they safe or whatever they at. We thinking about work and all the shenanigans with how the work environment is. And now you got COVID and you got health issues from. So it's like, when do we have the time to have a clear mind to be like, you know what? That fantasy I was, having I probably, with a text, somebody early in the day, wake up, you try to, when you're in a relationship, you kind of text a little flirty, text like send a pic, hey, do what you do. But anything could change right after I sent it. So now I probably just trigger. I'll probably turn you on, not you, but try to, probably turn that other person on. Right. But baby, later on in the day when I'm probably able to do something, no. So I don't.
So let me stop this disclaimer.
All right.
Because you all feel like y'all do so much. And I feel like I don't feel like y'all do. I think it's as equal. And that's probably a topic we will get into.
Oh, okay.
But men think about a lot other than just going to work and just coming home. Okay. So a man, that's why I say throughout the day, he would think about, like, during the hiccups throughout the day, the man would actually take his mind away and fantasize. And like how you said, I do agree that when we see a female, yeah, we fantasize about being with that individual, but we know the reality of it is. You get what I'm saying? So when it comes down to fantasy, yes, we go there. We want to be texted. We want to be called. We want, like I wrote a couple of things. We want something through halftime. We want that fellatio ride while riding through the car. You get what I'm saying? In the
Right.
parking lot.
Right.
What I put? Changing rooms. So I guess that's from one transition from one room to the next. So pull up on me at the job. Pull up on me. Yeah, pull up on me at the job.
But what if
you
she
feel
don't
me?
got time? What
No,
if,
but what I'm saying is
Okay.
these are the things that we do. See? And that's the thing. Reality always kick in when the man wants to receive something.
so I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
So all those fantasies, right? Or whatever you fantasize, what you just listed.
I ain't even finished,
I
but
know.
go ahead.
I'm sorry. So I'm gonna let you get back, but a thought just came back. So
Right.
I apologize.
Yep.
So if I was a stay-at-home mom, right? I feel like all of that will probably get done because especially the kids back at school, guess what? I feel like as a woman, yes, I can pop up. Yes, I can know what room. Like I feel like now she's able to fulfill those things. But when you just a woman in the workforce, also as the man, I don't see this happening unless there really is couples out there whose sex relationship is just thriving and y'all sincerely just 1000% happy. Can y'all please let a sister know like what y'all do, because I never experienced that.
Right. So I'm going to say it like this. Just as much focus as you will put on a job, that's how much focus you need to put towards your spouse.
Okay.
The amount of focus that you put on your child is as much as you should put on your spouse. As much as you put on having a relationship with your friends.
Okay.
You should put that same amount intensity when it comes down to your man. And then you will find out right there that you do have the time, that you are able to pop up. You get what I'm saying? You are able to fulfill the man's fantasy if you would just sit up there and make time for the man. I think in relationships, this serious.
Okay.
So in relationships, I think that what happens is everything be put on the front burner other than the man. The man is always put on the back burner, but then you want him to protect, do other things, and put the family first, right? Providing, protecting, you get what I'm saying? And then that's how, well, you feel like, okay, now I have a relationship, or now I'm married or whatever. You get what I'm saying? So as much as the intensity or as much attention as you put through other things, you should be able to put that towards the man. Then the fantasy will come alive. If you start worrying about everything else and put the attention where it should be, right? Then everything will come alive, because he still got to date you, right?
We still have to date.
Right. And if he doesn't date you, then what happens? The romanticism, right, begins to subside.
Right.
Right.
That
So-
serotonin comes in, everything just goes straight
Right.
on down.
Then when, like I say, sometimes, okay, you said earlier, a man visualize, right? So if you walking around with all that crazy crap on your face, with that overgarment of, overgarment of salvation, you get what I'm saying, walking around the house, how is it that he can fantasize about his own in the house? So that leads for him to always fantasize about something outside of the house. Then that's when cheating comes involved. You get what I'm saying? And then all of that stuff. But I just want to kind of stay on the lighter note, because to me, like, we all can find excuses, but it's really what you put into the relationship to allow this fantasy to be fulfilled.
And I feel like at the end of the day, it's by choices.
Okay.
And it's a choice. So I agree and I disagree
Okay.
With a few things that you said.
Okay.
Because again, I don't want to take away that your spouse should not be in the back burner, because of course your spouse should be. Now, again, every time we have these conversations, it's layers to
Right.
each one.
Right.
You understand? So to me, when you say the word spouse, that is called a marriage. All right. And also, if you in a relationship, of course, you should kind of do the things you probably would do in a marriage. So your person, your significant other can see what qualities you do bring to the table,
Right.
because you can't change after you say I do. It's still gonna be the same
Right.
shit. Okay.
Right.
So in a relationship, in general, try not to lose my thought. In a relationship in general, it's just the reality will always again sink in. And again, this is my opinion.
Right.
And how, if I'm a working mom, or you have some moms out there who going back to school, who have the kids, who probably take care of their they probably a mom or dad, or things that really do matter. So when do you have the time to bring those fantasies to life, to where certain things in the front burner, guess what? Those are everyday needs that are required to get through the day. So I don't feel like we're
So I'm a say this, like, you are organized as an individual, right?
right.
So with organization comes breaks, right? Intermissions, right? So in those intermissions, what are you doing? Are you trying to put the person on the front burner?
To be honest, I'm tired.
Right. So that's what I'm gonna say.
I'm tired.
Right.
So how can we just continue to help each other?
Right. So for example, you can be so tired, and as far as him too, he can be as tired, right?
Right.
But he'll still give the energy towards you. But,
I disagree.
Okay.
I feel like, because every human is different. So we can't just stamp a man, or all men think like this, all women think like that.
But I'm generalizing, so I'm saying most men. So even if you do percentages, let's just do the 80 and the 20.
Okay.
20% of people are not like that potent.
Okay.
Right? And 80% are.
All right.
Okay. So let's say between the breaks, the intermission, right? There may be 4 hours. You can give him an hour.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying? And then the 3 you can rest. It's just how you organize it. And then this the thing. Where are you putting the majority of your energy? Right? If it's not on your spouse, if it's not in your relationship, then it's deemed somewhere else. So then can you get mad at him searching for something else to fulfill the void? Because clearly his spouse isn't doing it. So just to take it further,
okay,
right? The fantasy, that's why men or strip clubs were made, brothels were made. You get what I'm saying? So these women can fulfill the fantasy, the desire. You get what I'm saying? Of what they may lack. For example, let's say back in Greek time, the men would be off to war for several months on end, right? So they would be in a place that's not even desolate, but they'll be at a place, and that nation may have a brothel because that's the only way that the family can make money, through their women, right? So the men come there, and these women say the right things, give them the time that's needed. You get what I'm saying? Talk to them in their ears real sweet. You get what I'm saying? Be able to finesse them and make it seem like it's reality, but it's really fantasy.
Like you're going to a strip club.
Exactly, same thing. Because it was there, and now it's now here too.
Right.
So even for men nowadays, it's the same thing. Whatever, because they'll go desolate at their own house, even though they come there every day. But I'm busy, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So their fantasy can't even be fulfilled. You get what I'm saying? Because of reality, she got to do this, she got to do that. She's busy. And
she's not available. Hopefully she's not. Hopefully if she's not available, is meaning she's doing something for her family. If that makes sense. If I have to go to work, if I'm trying to better myself, if I'm trying, or we're as a couple trying to build a legacy for our family, so we both busy. So regardless, it's the availability. Right.
But there's a season and a time for everything. You ain't busy all the time.
That's why you need to schedule sometime these fantasies, worlds, and sex. I'm a believer to that. We need to put it in a calendar.
Right.
And some people are, oh my gosh, you got to squeeze me in. Yes, because I have other things to do, not just fantasize to please you. And again, if you want me to be a stay-at-home mom, again, if you want to put all these zeros in my account, guess what? I would just be your stripper. I would be all these occupations you have in your head as your fantasy, because now I have the time to do it. You understand? So I don't think women don't want to do it. I just feel like we're just not available mentally, physically, emotionally to do it. So help us be free to fantasize whatever. She could come in, let me go ahead and sweet talk you and all that whisper shit in your damn ear. When do we have time to turn it on and turn it off?
You have the time.
We have the time. Okay, so no excuses, time. Ladies, is what Dwayne, what DP is saying. Right, because like no excuses.
Right, because this is what I'm saying. If you're saying that you have time for everything else except for me, right? That means I shouldn't be in a relationship with you.
Hello.
You get what I'm saying?
And it's fine.
If you cannot make the time, then why waste time?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So I will find somebody in my life, right? Or find somebody out here that will make the time.
Balance everything out.
Right. And that's what the life is about. Balance.
Gotcha.
But I think the thing is sometimes when women go through certain obstacles in life.
All right.
What they do is they fill it up with other like tasks.
Okay.
Right. And those tasks can be education. Those tasks be like, oh, I'm going to go and try to build a garden in the back. So I got to go attend to my garden or their pets or, everything else, starting a business because they need to fulfill that void of absence of, let's say, a man or just the romanticism, right? Whereas when a man is present, you still feel like you need to go attend to the garden. You need to attend to your dog. You need to still go get your education. You need to still be an entrepreneur instead of just living your life and enjoying your spouse. Now, at the same time, let's say you do want to succeed in life by starting a business. You have a startup date and a date that it should end. Meaning that only, like, for example, nobody's higher than God in my eyes, right?
Right.
So he had 7 days, 6 days where he created.
Right.
On that 7th day, he rests.
Okay.
It's no way that you need to be going on and on and on and on and on and on.
I agree.
Months on end that you cannot even give the time, even if you designate the time.
Right.
But you have to give the time to the individual that you're with.
Put in a calendar.
So the fantasy is fulfilled. You get what I'm saying? And I knew it was going to get deeper than what we initially thought.
I agree.
The thing is, we have to realize
this is reality too.
Right. In order to fulfill our fantasies, you have to make the time. Even if you say you schedule it out. I remember I was dating someone. They had just started a new job, so they plugged me in.
Okay.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right? And I was just like, okay, I get what you're saying, but even in between times, there are things that can take place, that can transpire between you and I. Don't feel like you have to commit to those days, because what tends to happen is on Monday, I got a headache. On Tuesday, my stomach hurting. On Wednesday, my stomach hurting. On Friday, my feet hurting. I've been standing up all day. There's when it's more excuses started to take place. And then I think that women never see it from the man's perspective. They only see it from, oh, I got to take the kids out. I got to do this. I got to do that. And then let's say the man helps out.
Okay. Let's say he helps out.
Let's say he helps out. So
you helping out.
You pick up the kids and I drop them off. Okay. You get what I'm saying? Or I take him to camp and you pick him up.
All right.
You get what I'm saying? Well, you got the 2 hours of the hours. Make sure you go to sleep and not be in your phone.
Well, what if she going to work? Where's work at? Where's cooking dinner at? Where is other preparations of other things
so
at?
I'm going to use the example of my mom.
Okay.
My mom, she used to cook for 2 days.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Or 3 days. So if she makes spaghetti, she makes it Monday. It's for Tuesday and Wednesday.
Okay.
Then she cooks on Thursday. So if I'm dating someone,
gotcha.
I let them know early. Listen, you don't have to cook every single day.
Okay.
Because that I shouldn't allow you to do that anyway.
Right.
So if we cooking, I know what I like. Sunday, I want breakfast. Sunday evening, I want Sunday dinner.
Okay.
Right?
Gotcha.
You can cook, that can last for 2 days. So that's Monday, Tuesday. Me, I'm simple. I'm easy, right? So if you
All
cook
right.
on Tuesday, you can cook Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Friday, we can eat out. Saturday, we can eat out.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying? Especially if we run that type of program,
Right.
that's easy for me. You get what I'm
Okay.
saying? So you don't have to give yourself to always slave in the kitchen.
Right.
Then we can alternate times that we wash dishes and clean up. See, I clean up in sections.
Okay.
So I clean up probably Friday and Saturday, or I may just clean up Saturday.
All right.
You get what I'm saying? So me cleaning up those days,
All right.
I end up, like spreading the time out.
Gotcha.
So maybe right after, let's say 5 o'clock, nobody in the house doing nothing. That's how I would run my house.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm
Based off the
saying?
timing of your occupation, because of course you might have some doctors, lawyers, people work late, overnight. So just to sum it up, so I get what you're saying, because every household, every relationship, everyone is different. I feel that at the beginning of when you step into the next level of the relationship, just have your requirements of what you're expecting sexually. So your fantasies, how often you want it. Just set your requirements so that way you two could come together to bring it to life. That's what I just took from the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And so when things will happen, guess what? Just make the adjustments, and some hiccups go still come in play. No excuses. But now if somebody lacking, like, hey, these were my requirements. This is what we agreed on. And somebody bring it to the front, like, hey, I see we slacking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's try to fix it. Now, I don't know how many times you want to keep allowing this slacking to happen. Then that's where cheating does come involved, in my opinion. Or you probably just like, you know what? I see that you're not able to keep up what we require, so let's just call it off.
Right.
And that's how I kind of frame what you're saying.
Right.
Okay.
So, yeah, long as you got a system in place,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what occupation you have.
Right.
At the end of the day, long as you schedule it out or
Okay.
just communicate about it. That's why I
Right.
think communication is very important.
Of course.
You get what I'm saying? So,
Right.
yeah, I believe that men should be able to tell their spouse all of the things that we would like and what we fantasize, and then those things you compromise on and some things you just don't.
And women, don't hold back neither, because we got some fantasies too. Well, T talking about herself,
Right.
but we got some fantasies too. So I feel like neither party should hold back. Put everything on the table, and it's like a pyramid in my head. It's like levels to a relationship. So of course at the bottom, that's when you set that good foundation, and then the next level is like, hey, you taking things to the next level, and more values and characteristics come into play. But once you already set that strong foundation, nothing is going to fall apart. And then of course the last is the lifetime. If you want to be married, you don't want to be married, but of course the next level is the maturity of it, which is marriage or whatever you guys decide. So it's just levels to the relationship, but just put everything out on the table, because in my opinion, the number one reasons why marriages probably do break up is either money or sex. It's probably just equal.
Well,
and again, that's my opinion.
That's a statistical fact, though.
Oh, okay.
That's the reason why most divorce happens is because of the lack of sex or the lack of money.
Okay. Oh, all right.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
So
facts, right?
back to the fantasy.
Right.
All right. So
What you got for me, T?
I just, if you want to share, like, what do men fantasize? Like, what can you give me details? I want details. Like you said, the car, or just pop up, or we have to, say all this for exclusive days.
No, we can be brief in what we fantasize about, but I'm not going to be too explicit.
Okay.
Again, it's just the same thing. Actually, to be pleased as a man.
Okay.
To let's say be physical. So with the touching and the kissing, let's say on the neck, or however the guy wants to finesse, you get what I'm saying? Or grab or hold or touch or rub, you get what I'm saying? And then the thing is, men are rough, right?
Okay.
So if we can be a beast at the time. You get what I'm saying? And the woman submits herself unto the man.
All right.
Whereas when she submit, he looks down and growl. You get what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So that's that bit of let's say control, you know, at that moment in time to have that girl submit to us is also something that we do fantasize about. You get what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Like there's even languages that are being said. You get what I'm saying? Some people prefer profanity. Some people prefer just a sweet talk. Some people I even heard a girl say you got to use some big words, some astronomical type, you know, verbiage in order to stimulate her.
Oh, okay.
You get what I'm saying? And then it's just learning how to conform to the man. And I think that's the thing with the man. You know, we want you to conform to us. Stop trying to, no, but you need to do it like this. No. What about just letting him get off the way he wants to get off?
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying? And then you understand it and then you submit to it.
All right.
Fantasy. And I'm gonna take it a little bit lighter. Because hopefully I was graphic in the mind.
Yes.
With my wording.
I'm sure you.
So okay,
yes.
I'm gonna try to take it a little bit lighter. Men also fantasize about having like a girl being their wife. I put down the Subway commercial where he wanted to take her out on a nice little lake. And they share a sandwich.
All right.
Right? But that's the man's fantasy. The woman fantasy in that commercial, she wanted the sandwich by herself. So she kicked him off the No, I want this foot long by myself. Like, come on, the selfishness. But the commercial made me realize that man fantasize about having his own, you know, lady.
Right.
And committing himself to her, being vulnerable to her, knowing that he can, you know, just have that person that has his back. And men fantasize about that as well.
Okay.
What about women?
I'm going to the submit part because this is, again, my opinion. I don't think a lot of women submit to their men. And the only reason why I feel that women don't submit to their men as much as men probably would like for them to is because they don't receive the help. Because with women, you have to get us mentally first.
That's crazy to me.
Okay, so as we're built, and again, ladies, back it up, add your comments, men, that's why we here sparking conversation.
Right.
So as a woman, we have to get there mentally before anything start jumping from the waist down below. And it's just, that's what it is. So we want to submit, but at the same time, our minds are still kind of cloudy with other things going on. So it's like, not to say the word force, like, okay, we got to give it to him because if we don't give it to him, he going to get it from somewhere else. And to be honest, most women probably do think like that.
Right.
Okay. That was just for the submit. Okay. That's just for the submit part. Right.
Yep.
And so then also you have, I should have wrote this down, but you also made a point of, I guess, how the men see the fantasies. As a woman, or I'm going to just say as a woman, whatever her demeanor is, whatever her personality is, I feel that once it's y'all time, I feel that it should be the opposite of what she wants. For an example, if you have somebody who's a firecracker, I don't think she wants to be a firecracker in a bedroom, and vice versa. So if you have someone who's already soft and you know, she's so nice, she's so kind, but in the bedroom, she want to be dominant. You understand? So she might want you to be that beast, so that way she can probably either match your swag or being a beast. She don't want to be soft, like she already soft outside of the bedroom. So now when I come in the bedroom, now you want me to be soft too. So I feel like the alter ego kind of thing transition when it comes to, I guess, women. I'm gonna speak for T. So I just feel that at the end of the day, it goes back to just putting everything out on the table.
I'm gonna drop one for you.
Hello.
I'm
just saying, because we don't want to be soft. We already probably dominant, dealing with everyday life, and then now you come in the bedroom. Okay, what you want me to do? I want you to submit. Like, dang, like it all depends on that individual. So I just say talk about it.
Right.
But,
so you said, and I'm gonna generalize what you said. The first point with the foreplay, right? Because you all need
foreplay.
To be. So this is the thing with the foreplay, because that's not my first time hearing it, and I'm not going to say that it's not needed. The thing is, and I always said this, that with women, they're not happy. That's how I feel.
Right.
Because when you meet a happy girl, it doesn't, all that is not needed. Once the man walk in the room, it's automatic.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying? But a girl that is not, I'm not going to even go over the top.
Don't.
Because I want to, right?
I got you.
But I'm not going to go over the top. But a girl that is unhappy,
right?
And I really want to say miserable, they always need this type of foreplay in order to stimulate them. And that's just how I feel.
I don't think it's a bad thing.
No, I don't want to.
Okay, we don't want to
tap on that.
All right.
Because I really feel some type of way about that. But that's why I want to just use the unhappy and happy.
All right.
Because you meet women that are happy, and I'm telling you, when the man walk in the room, they dripping.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And then the ones that kind of not, they're unhappy because they had a miserable day. They had had a rough day. And then, I just don't want to be touched. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to, oh my God, I just hate, I'm hating life right now. You get what I'm saying? But the ones that can turn the negative into a positive, like some women, you will hear them say, like, shoot, I got my man to go home to. And
even though they was effed up.
Right. Exactly. Even though their situation was crazy that day, they be like, man, I got my man. Like, I even heard my mom say one time, it's because my kids are at peace. My family is at peace. So it was nothing. You get what I'm saying? When she comes home, and I don't want to take it that far because I don't know, with my parents.
Of course.
But that's how I, see the two.
Okay.
Now, I'm not going to say that foreplay isn't needed, because I believe too, when a man put his saliva in your mouth, you stimulated by that. That's a scientific fact. If he does that, he can spit in your mouth. You get what I'm saying? And then you can be stimulated by that. I'm telling you.
Hell no. Don't you elfin spit in my mouth. The hell? Why is he doing this?
Because of control. And a lot of women don't like to submit to that.
You're not spitting in
I
my
understand. Don't
mouth.
take it there.
Okay.
Don't take it there.
Don't take it there.
I was just using that as an example.
Well, I had to take it there because you brought it to my ears. The hell?
Oh well, because this is the thing. At the same time, there are some girls that's up here with their, what they like. Y'all. You get what I'm saying? And then it's some girls down here.
Right. It's levels to it.
Right.
It's levels to it.
And that's the thing. Because some people's sexual life is fun.
Right.
Like, I see sex as a fun thing.
Right.
Intimacy, I see it as fun. If it has to be, oh my God, you got to do it, like, you got to, you know what I'm saying?
Find
when it's all that, else. It's like, yo, you're
Find
boring.
Somebody else.
You get what I'm saying? It's boring.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? Because
exactly. You feel forced.
Right. You get what I'm saying? But if it's something that's fun that y'all can laugh about and you can
talk about it, right, do the text messages later. You remember when we did that?
Right.
I got you.
You get what I'm saying? So sometimes I feel like it should be fun, and it should be, I want to say this term, I don't know if it's right, elusive. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it should be just loose.
Gotcha.
Y'all going out of control, long as stuff don't go in the wrong area.
Right.
And stuff. Accidents happens, you know what I'm saying?
All the time.
As things happen, you get what I'm saying? Right. So I believe fulfilling, yes, the fantasy.
Okay.
But the reality is that we have to make the time for it. We actually have to sit down and talk about it.
I feel like you have to find that compatible person, period. Because if you feel like you had to force anything, it's not worth it. I feel like just
or I would say be open.
Be open.
Right. Because you're like food. you'll never know that you like something unless you try it.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying? Because then you, at that point, you just setting limitation at every point. Oh,
Right.
you don't like to do this, I don't like to do that, and you know what I'm saying? Then you be like, you'll be done dated everybody in Miami. So, but the thing is that you don't kind of want that. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? You want to find somebody
Exactly.
while you're dating out here
It
too.
takes time.
You get what I'm saying? So yeah,
right.
I believe that. I use foreplay.
All
and
right.
what was your second point? You forgot.
I feel like foreplay is needed because during foreplay, I feel like that's when a man could be submissive to a woman. You understand? So, hey, bring out whatever it is you want to bring out. Strawberries, whipped cream, whatever. It's just submit to us also as much as men probably want, you know, their women to submit to them. I feel like everything is equal. I don't feel like a man get this more. No, everything is freaking equal. The same thing a man probably won't. Guess what? A woman wanted to. That's that.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm gonna leave that there, right? Because I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't know neither. So that's why we talking to the people so they can probably tell us other things or information that we just don't know. We just don't know. We smart
Right.
kids.
I just feel like I'm the man. Period.
Negative.
I'm the man.
When
man.
you find that submissive woman, that's easy.
Right. So
Right.
so I'm not gonna lie. I have.
Good.
And it wasn't like this thing of equal. You get what I'm saying? It was like, oh, if I do this, that's that tit for tat. You get what I'm saying? Like I do this, you make that into a competition. We no longer having fun at that point. Because if you have to do it, then I have to do it. Oh, I just did, and then y'all could argue about that later. Well, I done did it 10 times, and then now you just catching
Who's
up to
counting?
one. But I'm just saying that's what
Oh.
it would turn into.
I never experienced that,
You
but
get what I'm
okay.
saying? But that's what I'm saying. And then you have some. I mean, most women I have experienced. I mean, they wasn't like that. They enjoyed it. If they would submit to me, oh, I enjoy,
Okay.
doing whatever.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Because that's just what it was.
Right.
Now, when I meet somebody, if I ever meet somebody that was like, oh, well, I did this for you, you got to do that. I'm going to look at you crazy.
No, we not pointing the finger. Do that. We're not doing.
But
none of that.
I'm going off of what you said about, if I do this, you should.
We were
do
talking
that.
about foreplay. I was just talking about foreplay.
Yeah, but then you was like, well, a man submit to a woman.
Doing foreplay. That's all I was saying. Foreplay.
Okay, what is foreplay?
Foreplay is, you know how you got that conventional oven or like the toaster oven, because sometimes you kind of get little, you got to warm it up. As a woman, the foreplay is for you to warm her up, like for you, because her mind is still going crazy. Her mind still thinking about some other stuff, even though in the middle of the act, her mind is still somewhere else. But
That's crazy.
Listen, but during the foreplay, now you like, oh, like you can really see what's really in front of you or really what's happening for her to really get in the mood.
That's
And
wow.
I'm not saying to do foreplay every single time.
No.
Sexual activities
Right.
are happening.
Right.
But when you just have that extra time, when you're not being rushed, guess what? Have the foreplay kit out on the side, bring it out, and baby, let me go eat, and then get her there.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
So now I'm finna take you there, right?
Okay.
Foreplay isn't something that a man should have to do all the time. And I got this just now.
Okay.
When you're mad, that's when your mind is off on something else, right? I'm not pointing at you. I was just pointing.
I know.
There. Okay. So your mind is over there.
Mm-hmm.
The foreplay should come in. I know y'all girls gonna get mad at me,
Go
but
ahead.
the foreplay should come in to what?
Bring you back.
Exactly.
I thought I said that.
I know.
Oh, okay.
I know you just said that.
Okay.
Now it makes sense to me.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, he said now it makes sense to him. Okay.
no, not like how you think.
Darn it.
So I'm glad you dropped the gems for me.
I thought you
But
was there.
no,
Okay,
I
go
was
ahead.
not
Finish.
there with you.
Darn it. Go ahead. God dang it. Go ahead.
So what takes place is
All right.
that's the problem. Your mind isn't there, and it should. So I'm going to say this. When a man sees a woman, his mind is there. He's fully invested.
Because your penis already ready.
So what?
Women don't think like that. Most women don't.
And I get it, right? But I don't get it. Because if you're attracted to me, right? Once I'm there, you should be there. It's a call and response at that moment. And if you're fully invested in the individual, it should not take all that.
You have to realize. Go ahead. Go.
It should not take all of that. That's just like this. If a guy right now with a 6-pack abs, a chest, shoulders, bicep, triceps, all that, weight, he takes off it. Don't yarn on me.
I'm just teasing you.
I know.
I try to bring it to that thing that you know we talking about.
Wait. I'm gonna get you there. Okay. Once he take off his shirt, what happens? You become fully invested. Stimulation just off of his shirt being off. That's crazy to me. But then you're dating a guy that's paying the bills, right? That's helping you out. And once he gets stimulated by just seeing you walk by with your booty shorts, oh, you got to work me up. That's the problem.
I disagree.
No, I don't care if you disagree. Wait.
Okay.
That means to me that all of what you all are saying to me is fantasy, not reality.
Okay.
Y'all love blowing smoke. It shouldn't take all that. That's just you putting everything into perspective to me right now. So all of that stuff y'all talking about, that's crazy. Oh, foreplay this, foreplay that. No, I understand if you're mad, you're upset because your boss done said something, or you may have ran into your car and all of that, right? I get it, but then thereafter, no. Once I take off my shirt, I seen it before. One time I took off my shirt, I saw the girl eyes fully invested. It didn't take me having to work her up. So once I walked up on her, it was on and popping. And it's crazy to me. Some women are like that, and most women, they're not like that.
Gotcha.
They have to be reared in. But why?
And it goes back to what I've said. It depends on what responsibilities that woman have. We're built differently. As a woman, we're not turned on 0 to 100. Not most women. Okay. Men are. You guys are already thinking about sex from the moment you wake up to the moment you probably go to sleep. Guess what? You might have that 20% of women who might be on the same level, but 80% is bigger. Okay? So everyday women, not talk about little girls, everyday women, we got other things to do. And again, so once you understand a woman, it shouldn't be no type of, it should be no type of feelings to be like, why you're like that. That's how God built us.
No.
We don't turn on the same way you turn. Guess what? Because again, you talking to T, okay? So when you brought about this topless man and this and that, I'm looking, but to be honest, that shit don't do nothing else. Oh my goodness.
Lying.
He said stop lying.
You know why?
You know why? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Why?
Why?
You know why?
Please tell me why.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
I am.
Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna let you know.
Go ahead.
You know why?
Why?
Because when you did your Wind Down Wednesday and you had the pictures,
right?
And we were told.
Go ahead.
And we were talking on the phone and how you were getting excited.
Yes, for my girls, for my women.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
So calm it down. Let's bring it down.
Bring it down.
Okay.
Okay.
So the excitement of and it's crazy for other women, but even for yourself.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Even when you start naming the names, you were excited.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Not just for them, but also for yourself too, because you was excited in this totality. You was fully invested.
Not fully invested, meaning I'm thinking about him in the bedroom too. for him to do all that, whatever he need to do.
I'm talking about the excitement. We not gonna go so deep far as you being so aroused.
Okay.
Because if he was in your presence, you would be. When you talking about you're looking at photos,
You know, you captivated. Hey, you killed. Hey, I'm looking. I'm human.
Just like how, and I'm gonna show you how much I pay attention. Just how you just said something about when you was watching the BET Awards, and you mentioned I think his name was I think it's Redman, Method Man, one of the guys.
Method Man.
Right.
Woo!
So
yes.
And I just proved my point.
Gotcha.
I just proved my point. You saw how that stimulated you, where you became invested.
I did.
Okay.
Because I posted him. And I never do that.
And that should be the same reaction.
Gotcha.
The guy that's paying your bills, helping to pay the bills.
I got you.
Share the load. That's the type of reaction he should get. And I'm trying to put everything in perspective. I'm not trying to be correct.
Right.
Because that's the thing with men. Men, when they see it, they fully invested.
Okay.
That's why when he see you as, you wanting to be his girl and stuff like that, that man fully invest. It's no other woman at that time is the beautifulest one in the club. Even in the room. You get what I'm saying? Even in the world to him, he is. I can have all the problems in the world, but when I see you and I have you around, nothing else matters.
Ladies, we got some work to do? Question mark? Yes or no? I'm just asking. I hear what DP saying, but I'm just asking the Drews out there, like after this conversation, like, do you feel that we need to do more, less? I just want to know what y'all thoughts are. Because foreplay to me is needed, just for the simple fact, again, we don't have to rush all the time. So the same that you want to do,
you just made me have another thought.
You want to have your pop-ups. Guess what? It's the same as foreplay.
You just want me, like, what? Foreplay is for old folks.
I don't think it's for old folks.
To me, it is.
Okay, why is that?
So, old men, old women, they need that stimulation because it takes more time for them to get aroused. And then I think we have that, like, we adopted that into our younger genes. Like, we adopted that as being young people, that we need foreplay. It's crazy to me, like an 18 and a 19-year-old, they can just hop in the bed and that's that.
They don't know no better.
It doesn't matter. We talking about stimulation.
Right.
They are stimulated automatically. Okay. Then as the problems come on in the world, right? We don't know how to cut it off and just be in the bedroom. And you just showed me that. Women do not know how to stop taking outside things inside of the house. Right. And that's the reason why a lot of homes are messed up. Okay. Because we're taking outside problems into our homes.
Maybe we're just equipped like that.
No. That just shows no. That just shows immaturity. Okay. And one thing I noticed too, a lot of this stuff, we are adults. Right. And we have responsibilities. Right. We have commitments to commit to. Right. We have responsibility. And also too, we need to get away. Right. So coming home should be your getaway. And that's for a man. A man tries to get away from his problems outside of the world. Right. Like, for example, if I'm home, I'm chill, nobody's bothering me, none of that. The kids can be making a mess and all of that stuff. That's fine. Okay. Because when I go out and I deal with a police officer, the first thing he want to do is take me to jail. That's the problem he has to deal with, just being a black man. Right. Right? Okay. Then when you go to work and you work for, let's say, a white person or whatever, you get what I'm saying? Any other ethnicity other than your own or even your own, you still got to deal with trouble with that. Right. So women don't think about the things that men, obstacles every day that a man. So when he comes home, he always have to defend himself and others. Right. So for example, let's say if I don't know this girl and she's in trouble and she's at the grocery store, she gonna look for me to save her. Because I'm a black man and that's a black female. Right. So these are things that automatically happens with the man. Right. So when he comes home, right, he tries to isolate himself. But when a woman come home, she's bringing all the trouble from the world inside of her home. That's why you need all of these extracurricular activities. That's why a man fantasy, that's why I said the hiccups throughout the day, he fantasized about just being pleased or just comfort and peace. You get what I'm saying? So when he comes home, that's all he wants. But when a woman come home, she want to come home and tell you what so-and-so did, this person did that, and not never say, you know what? I'm done with all that. I'm wiping my feet off, dusting my feet off at the door, and I'm coming home to peace, quiet, and happiness, where the fantasy can start coming alive. And that's how I believe that's why I think there should be a paradigm shift in our mind for the black woman and the black man. You get what I'm saying? Because that's the only people I can really speak for.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying? And I don't know any other nationality that is how they function, but I think there needs to be a paradigm shift. We need to start being more happier, period, and stop worrying about other traumas and other people's problems.
I got you.
You get what I'm saying? And heal from our own traumas and pain.
Right.
A lot of I ain't gonna say a lot, but some girls that have been molested and then now they try to get into a relationship and they relationship can't really fully function, so the fantasy can be be there. They need to get healing from that.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Because you're not the only one that was molested.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So, and then I'm going to add this on there. Women, I'm telling you, women are different than girls. Women, they don't do, I'm telling you, my experiences are very different from my age group and theirs. They don't act the same. They are not the same. So their reaction, like I said, if I walked in the room, what they gave me was a good response because they was all fully invested. They didn't have all of that stuff coming in.
Right.
So I did a little 5 minutes of talking.
Okay.
And I'm going to let you take it over D.
So I agree. Again, it's disagree on a few. The one that stood out was when you said how the women, they walk into the doors and they just need to let you know how they day went. You have most women who do that. And again, women are talkative. And again, it depends on what you're talking about.
Gotcha.
But if she is walking in the door and she's just expressing how her day went, obviously, I don't think she probably called her homegirls to release it on them. And then when she get home, she don't have to talk about it. And maybe she probably want to only talk about it to you. So
I get that. So you remember when I was saying, so what you do is, I'm going to say this. I'm going to put it in perspective. So when you come home, guess how long you finna talk about that issue?
30 seconds?
No. You finna talk about...
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know what you was going to say.
I like that one. I wish it was a 30-second conversation.
Okay.
But no, it's finna be an hour-long conversation. And you done gave so much energy to that. To now, when you're done, you try to go to sleep.
Right.
You're exhausted. Mentally, I done let it out, and now you put that burden on him, right? Or you just put that on him.
That energy on him.
Now, when you put that on him, now he needs to find a release.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
So when he comes back to you to release,
right,
guess what you doing? You sleep.
No. So why foreplay can't come in? So
no.
Why foreplay can't come in?
No, because it's not.
Why?
Because you're tired.
No, foreplay to me could be you getting the baby oil or whatever essentials oil, and guess what? Rub my body down. Because if I'm not mistaken, how many massages can lead into the next level? Okay, that
None.
part it can.
Because she's finna fall asleep.
No, she's not gonna fall asleep.
Okay.
But if you know where those spots are and you get her where she needs to, that's to me is considered foreplay. Okay. So you just allow her to go through her day. You just allow her to walk in and just hash all this bull crap out. And then now foreplay comes in to be like, oh my gosh, like you don't even have to say nothing. Get the massage oil and rub the needed areas. And guess what? She will be turned on because now she was like, oh, he's ready. And as the woman, like, we not gonna have no choice but to fulfill whatever is about to play. That's to me is what's called foreplay.
Okay. So
partly of what foreplaying is.
So I got one for this one.
Okay.
I got one.
Go.
I know. You finna be mad, T.
Go ahead.
So you say foreplay. That's before replay. So when you walked through the door, you gave me all of this.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
So while you're giving me all of this,
okay,
then you said, why not turn around and be physical to stimulate her? So now we spent 2 hours just catering to you. And you all don't see it. And this is the problem. You just spent the whole hour complaining. Then the second hour, now I got to turn around and stimulate you after you just put that on me for a whole hour. That, at that point, is selfishness. And you all women do not see it. And you have to open your eyes.
Oh, I got one.
Open your eyes for this. You get what I'm saying? Open the blinds and see how it really is.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
I got you.
So that's the reason why I feel like foreplay that's just a woman thing. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
And that's why I said it. What I said earlier, for old folks, you have to rev them up in order to get them in the mood. That's for old people.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So if foreplay is for women, what the hell is submissive? Submissive is a man thing. Okay. So that's what I took from the last statement.
Okay.
Now, as a woman, because I'm hearing what you saying, even though I don't do that. Meaning I'm not walking in the damn door doing all that talking. T don't do all that.
Gotcha.
So I'm speaking for the women who probably are doing that. So guess what? You know who, if you don't want to hear it and they feel like, you know what, I do want to talk to my man about my day for whatever duration the time is, but I know he don't want to hear it. Guess
That's
what?
not true.
Guess what? All that negative you just said, I don't want to hear it. You did for 2 hours and all that.
No, I didn't say that.
So, but
I didn't say that.
wait, because now I'm finna give it back to you.
Go ahead.
So hold on. So
ahead.
all that as she want to walk through the door, and now that she do want to tell you about her day, if she know that my dude don't want to freaking hear it, guess what? She's gonna talk to her girlfriends. She's gonna find someone who want to hear it, and that's when the girl gossiping come at, because at the end of the day, if I can't drive home, picking up the kids, coming home like, oh my gosh, my man is home, I do want to tell him the good, the bad. I want to express how it is. I want to communicate with you regardless of the duration is. But here it is, you just said, oh my gosh, we just spent 2 hours and all this, and you just brought it all on to me. You think a woman want to hear that, or just even know that that's how her significant other would feel? So guess what? I go to somebody else who really go just sit there and listen. And that's why you have the girlfriends. That's why you might have, I don't want to say male friends to listen, but whoever that woman might find it in someone to listen, she's going to freaking run over there and talk her freaking ear off over there. But T don't have time to be talking about her day like that. I'm just letting y'all know.
But we just putting it in perspective, right? So what you're saying, the selfishness that just comes with it at every angle. Watch this. Watch this. So you just said that I said that I don't want to hear it.
That's what I took from it. Yes.
Okay, but that's not
you
what I said. You was complaining. No, I wasn't.
Okay.
This is the insight that you need to see.
All right.
As a woman, right? This is the insight of a man that you need to see real quick.
Okay.
So when you come through the door, right? And let me tell you how this thing balance out. So when you come through the door and you speak about your situation for an hour, okay, babe, I had my moment. What about your moment?
Gotcha.
And that's what I'm talking about.
All right.
What I'm saying is, remember, we talking about a 4-hour window before we got to do everything else, right? Take care of responsibility and all that, right?
Right.
So now we done spent 2 of the hours just on you. Because you remember you had talked about being rubbed down with the baby oil and all of that stuff, right?
Right.
So that's 2 hours of a massage for you, right? And conversations from you that's now put on a man. I didn't say it was a problem. What I said was, it was selfish because you took just 2 hours by yourself. It's not like after your 2 hours, you finna give me an hour, 2 hours for me.
Gotcha.
You're not. What you're gonna do is after you get your massage and you may give me, let's say 30 minutes, then the other 30 minutes and hour and 30 minutes, guess what you're doing? You're going to sleep. You're gonna tend to other things. That's what you're gonna do.
In your opinion.
Right.
Okay.
Because that's what's gonna tend to happen. You're not gonna give him his full, you're not gonna, let's say, have sex and then play with him afterwards. You're not. I'm too tired. Right. Because now you giving yourself. So that means with you, since you done gave yourself to me, because that's how you gonna put it. Oh, I done gave myself to you for 30 minutes. That's 2 hours and 30 minutes of you talking about you. Or you thinking about you. You get what I'm saying? So
Gotcha.
what I'm saying is when you come home and you give me that hour of conversation, afterwards you should stop and say, babe, what is it that you need to do? What is it that how you want to get off real quick before we are back attending to me? That's why I believe in the balance.
Gotcha.
And I learned this from a older woman.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying? Where she didn't actually teach me, she showed me. Okay, I done gave you 15 minutes of talking your ear off.
Right.
Now it's your turn. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
what is it that bomb? And it's like, dang, it's like that. Yeah, because I'm not finna be selfish with the time. I know our hour, we only had an hour. You get what I'm saying? So now I need to let you get off. You get what I'm saying? And that's the difference between, that's why I say it's a difference between girls and women. Because women think about the man even though they're talking about themselves.
Gotcha. Ladies, T don't do all that talking.
We get that.
I don't do all that. So it's not to say it's new, because I know some women that you're describing how they are. And I just sit back and I listen to my girls, and you can tell them, hey, don't do this, don't do that. But of course, we living in a world that, guess what? You can't change nobody. And so that's why we sparking these conversations, and women just kind of listen to your spouse. You know, y'all really have these conversations of what's the fantasies, or how can we bring these fantasies to reality and have fun with it.
Right.
And it goes back to, it's real levels to this when it's called a relationship. And then if you're just not ready, guess what? Don't get into the relationship.
I agree.
So that's why I said set that good foundation, that concrete foundation, because if you ready for what all this was happening and that was just a little partly of fantasy versus reality, and you sit here back like what no, guess what, in my opinion, you're not ready, because it's a lot when it comes to that mature relationship, which is marriage or that lifetime. Is a lot. So you ready for that marriage lifetime, or you be single? I don't know, but go ahead, go deep.
Right. So I guess the reality too, because you mentioned about other people going other places. That's why men go other places as well, because you know how you say going to your friends because you're not getting at the crib. It's just because you don't understand how to give it at the crib.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying? So since you don't know how to do that, that man needs it, so he finds it somewhere else. So I think, and also women do the same thing.
All right.
So in conclusion, yes, fantasy and versus reality is a real thing, and I think it's something that needs to be expressed,
Right.
be talked about.
It needs to be blended.
Right. So we need to talk about our fantasies,
Right.
and we need to talk about those things that we want from our spouse,
Yes.
or in our relationship.
Right.
Even if it's to build a empire. Right. So we want to talk about these things, and we appreciate you all checking us out thus far. So I'm your boy DP. This my girl T. And we Gemini Gems. That's Geminis with the S.
S.
That's Gems with the Z. And what we do?
We drop them gems.
We drop them gems.